Hey everyone, me and Mira are back, and we thought we'd share our final thoughts for the Street Fighter 6 beta. We finally got a full night's sleep. It's been quite a crazy weekend, but I thought overall, as far as beta tests go, Mira, for games, I think the Street Fighter 6 beta test ran pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we had a few things that we wanted to do, and pretty much everything went according to plan. The beta didn't work against us.
So we're gonna go over a bunch of topics here. We definitely should start with netcode, Mira, because that's probably one of the most important things that
Right.
the beta test is about, right? Everyone wants to know about the netcode. We mentioned before that at the very beginning it's been really good, but now I got a much deeper test this time. The ranked was bugged for me until the third day, actually. But once I got into ranked mirror, I was playing people literally worldwide because I was playing up, really, really late, past 3 a.m. in the morning. And I happened to play against people from like Korea, Taiwan, Australia. My brother played against a bunch of people from Australia. How about you on your side?
Brazil. Oh, for anyone that doesn't know, I live in Italy and Europe, right? I played with people from the US. I played with people from South America. I played with one person from Australia. That one wasn't so good, but it was also 350 ping, so
Yeah, yeah,
couldn't have expected it to be that good.
yeah.
But anything that is in a reasonable range, like up to maybe 200-ish ping, it's perfectly playable.
By the way, guys, I live in
Mhm.
Canada, so when I'm playing against people from Korea, for example, you can see the delay and the rollback frames. And yeah,
Yeah.
the netcode is definitely a lot different than Street Fighter 5. You can easily tell. There's definitely
Mhm.
no one-sided rollback. And when the game constantly syncs up, cleverly too, by the way. And
Mhm.
sometimes there is when the connection is really far, like a world apart. There is sometimes a delay that puts in the game, and then eventually it syncs up and it feels good again. And if it gets really out of hand, the game seems to make sure that it doesn't get to the point where it's unplayable, and it'll actually freeze the gameplay and sync it up if it gets very,
Mhm.
very unstable, which is a lot better than how Street Fighter 5 handled it, where it just got
Yeah.
progressively worse. You mash out a stun in the game, it's like skipping
It
all
just
over
ends
the
up right.
screen. It's really
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, it seems like it syncs every time characters don't have control.
Mhm.
So a great example would be during super animations.
Yeah,
Probably drive impact as well. When there's the slowdown on screen.
yeah.
Like all of these kind of situations where both characters don't have control is a perfect opportunity for the netcode to sync up again.
You and me, Mir, we played a few sets together as
Right.
well. Like, once again, I live in Canada, you live in Italy, and we play each other in Street Fighter 5, and this is way more playable for a
Yeah.
match.
Well, no, like that's an understatement. I think in Street Fighter 5 it's almost unplayable, to
Yeah.
be honest, when we play each other.
Like, once again, the game kind of has a fail safe where it makes sure it doesn't reach the point of unplayability. So when you and me are playing Mirror, sometimes I'll see some animations lose a few frames, during the
Mhm.
startup. But there's never a
Yeah.
situation like in Street Fighter 5 where I'll hit you with something and I'll be like, oh, it hit. I'm going to confirm it. And then all of a sudden the game is like, oh, just kidding. He was blocking. And then I get blown up for it. That situation never
Yeah.
happened once throughout the 3 days of the beta test. How do you think the netcode is stacked up against other games like that really good netcode?
I feel like for a fighting game so far, it might be the best out there. The
Whoa.
classic comparison is
Whoa.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Calm down, Mir. That's a bold
No, I'm
statement.
not calming down. I know, you know.
Don't hurt me, Mir.
Anyway, Strive netcode is the obvious comparison, right? Because
Yeah,
everyone preaches that one, and that one is a very, very good netcode.
yeah.
And the only problem with it is that it's not very good at handling unstable connection. And Street Fighter 6's netcode seems better than that, better at doing that rather.
Interesting.
And in general, it feels a little bit smoother, probably because Street Fighter is a slower game,
Hmm.
so it just can handle everything a little bit better.
Hmm. Cool.
I've plenty of experience with Strive playing other people from other countries as well, so I can compare. And I do think that Street Fighter 6's netcode is very impressive.
Yeah.
Like I'm very happy that they managed to put this together because it's really important.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Especially with crossplay, right?
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's surreal playing people worldwide, and now we know that online tournaments can now become a reality, right? It could be
Right.
practical, be something they can do, and being able to play with all of your friends, from around the world also becomes
Mhm.
a reality. And with this on top of crossplay is very, very interesting. So yeah, I'm sure you guys are happy about it. You know, the majority of the comments, usually you hear about Netcode all the time during beta tests, but this time around, everyone's just focused on the gameplay because the Netcode is so good that it's not even on people's minds, which is awesome.
Yeah. Compared to my experience at EGX, which was obviously offline, it does feel just a little bit more delayed, and that's something because I have, you know, like a pretty lagless monitor, and I'm playing at home. When at the event I was playing on, you know, some spotty hardware, I would say, and yet it still felt better at the event. So you cannot really get rid of that inherent extra delay of the online. So that probably will never be fixed.
I played against somebody who was close in my region, and their MS was 4 on the screen. It was crazy. The chat was like, close. You're playing against somebody who lives in your walls. Like, I played against my brother. My brother was like, you know, stream sniped me, and his MS was like 6, and he's just upstairs. So someone, you know what I mean, close to me, and it's like lower. I don't know. That was crazy. Another thing too, in case you guys don't know, you can actually forfeit your match. So at the bottom left of the screen, if you press start, and you can say forfeit the match, you can say, hey, this is too unstable. Let's just, you know, chalk this one up. The opponent can also press start. If you both agree, it will actually cancel your match. No points are lost for either player, and you can just move on so you don't waste your time playing a super leggy match. So Capcom adding that is very, very good. Which characters did you get to play during the beta?
I mostly played Guile, but I played a little bit of Ryu.
I had to, I played all the characters. I had to make like a risky decision because I was like, man, I really want to like master one character. But of course I didn't anticipate rank not working for me, but I'm like, man, I really want to break down all the characters. So, you know, I made the sacrifice and just learned all the characters throughout, you know, the first 2 days. It was very time consuming. All the characters were pretty different. All characters are really fun, and they all seem really strong. So, but to be honest, like out of all the 8 characters that I played, I feel like not one of them was like, man, this is my main for sure. Like, this is the character I'm going to stick with. I still need some time to think about it, but they were all relatively fun. So we have to see with the other characters.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different experience from me because obviously I have a character loyalty thing going on. I suppose.
You mean a hard-on? You have a hard-on for Guile.
If you want to put it that way, I don't know. But the interesting part is that both the characters that I mostly played, which are Guile and Ryu, are the ones that just play like Guile and Ryu. I feel like out of the characters that are in Street Fighter 6, those are probably the ones that are least changed over their previous iterations. Obviously, of course, they have new tools, they have new toys to play with, but like the way they play, they're the same character, you know? While the others, you can tell that they're, you know, pretty different, I think. Ken especially, I think it's almost another character compared to Street Fighter 5 or you know, previous games for that matter.
With Ken, it's not even just Ken that's different from Street Fighter 5. I feel like Ken is different within the game itself. I feel like I had to play Ken very different than the other characters. I started off with Ken, and I had a lot of troubles like getting the hang of the game. I mean, obviously I was overwhelmed. You know, Street Fighter 6 is a very different game. And after I was done playing Ken, I started playing the other characters, I had a way easier time, like learning the game much faster. So maybe playing Ken first wasn't the best idea. But I went back to Ken later, and it wasn't so bad. But I feel like he's really different this time around.
It is not marked as a difficult character. I can say that characters like Juri and Chun-Li definitely strike me as will take a lot of learning just because of all the extra things and resources that you have to keep track of, and they might be difficult for someone who's new to the game, you know, to approach. But having said that, obviously, picking the character you prefer is always the right choice.
Yeah, I think even though there's no characters labeled as easy, as far as I know, I believe Guile and Ryu, like you mentioned, were probably the easiest characters to pick up.
Yeah, I think they're the easiest to understand. Like, their game plan is easy. Ryu obviously has more specials than he normally does, and you kind of have to understand ranges and block strings in a completely different way in Street Fighter 6 because of how it interacts with the system and, you know, the way the characters are built. And Guile obviously being a charge character, you can have some tricky execution again, you know, like standing cancels, building charge in tight windows. It feels, I don't want to say harder than Street Fighter 5. It's like it's different. The difficulty has been shifted around a little bit.
I mean, I think Street Fighter 6 straight up is just a more complicated game in general. You know, if we're not talking about the characters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, with the characters, and you add the system on top of the characters, that's where it gets, you know, tough, and there's a lot of things with that, right? I just feel like, Guile and Ryu in particular, they just didn't have obvious weaknesses like some of the other characters do. Like they're both really well
Yeah, they're
rounded.
both very good generalist
Yeah,
characters.
so
Yeah, I
then,
agree.
there wasn't like a particular spot where you had to, focus on as a weakness. Another thing, Mir, was getting recording footage for this game was really interesting. In training mode, you have to sit down on a cabinet, and you cannot stop someone from sitting on your cabinet and playing against you and interrupting you.
Right. So I've heard a lot of people complain that, oh, I keep getting people coming up to me and annoying me, while I'm trying just to lab.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, how do we prevent this? The way the lobby works, right, is obviously that the more people there are, the more likely it is that you're going to get disturbed. So I immediately went to the server list and looked for the emptiest lobby there was. And as it so happens, 90% of South American servers were empty, basically a desert. And occasionally, I did get disturbed.
Oh,
And I made sure that the people that disturbed my peace knew what they were doing.
oh, really? It's like that.
Yeah, it is like that. And then I escaped to another server just in case they had weird ideas.
They brought
that
their
were trying
friends.
to bugger you.
I remember you were feeling yourself. You're like, someone played against you when you're like in the middle of testing something, and then you beat them, and you're like, let this be a lesson. Next time you interrupt my training.
Exactly. I went to take a nap and I forgot that I left the game on. So halfway through my nap, I hear from the other room that someone had challenged me. So I rushed there.
Oh, really?
Fight.
That's great. I had a bodyguard. I had my buddy Sword. He was like standing next to the machine, and he was like speaking in different languages, saying, "Hey, Vesper is making videos. Please do not disturb him." And he was like standing there, and he'd warn me if someone came close. It's kind of funny. Like, my experience was strange because people obviously can stream snipe me, and apparently you can search people's names up to find out what servers they're in, anyways. So you can definitely hunt people down in this game. But it's also very the battle hub in itself, Mir, is so fun, so much more fun than I thought it would be. I mean, obviously we're gonna compare it to like an Arxis lobby, right? And when I first saw the battle hub, I was like, man, Arxis lobby. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a particular fan of that because I want to just go in and play the game, right? But I think Capcom did an outstanding job this time around with the community thing. I know they have some experience with it from like Monster Hunter, but I really feel like Capcom nailed it this time. You can see the names. There's all the big streamers, had all their fans running around. You could run into your friends. You see them play on the machine. The whole Battle Hub environment is so sick. You can see who's on a win streak, and then it tells them their name. So in the lobby, oh, this guy's on a win streak. He's like a 20-game win streak, and you can just go to his machine and queue up and be I play next. And
Yeah.
you have the shop and everything roaming around, and the all chat, Mirror. There's actually all chat in the game, which is amazing. There are some people like, hey, GG's Vesper, as I'm like harassing people on the machines because I couldn't get into ranked. And I even saw people get salty. You're like, yo, you're such a scrub.
Yeah, I've
dude.
seen some very colorful comments.
Of course, that comes with the territory. All we need is proximity voice chat, Mirror, and then we're good to
Oh
go.
yeah, like those good old survival games like Rust. Then you can blast music while they're playing.
The Blanca theme, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, I honestly think the Battle Hub was amazing. Seeing everyone's avatar, all the aliens that people made, and it was actually like a genuine good social experience from all the servers. I think it was great. I think there's a lot of things you can do with it, and we just have kind of half of the big picture because the other half is taking these avatars and actually playing as them in the world tour. So I think there'll be a good kind of attachment to your avatar. And we know there's going to be different presets, so you don't have to just use one avatar all the way. And learning the new moves, and they gave some sample moves, the spinning bird kick and all of that we can use to roam around. But a lot of the times, just being AFK in Battle Hub, talking to my chat, and having people run around and dance and show up on the stream, and just talking to all chat in the lobby was an amazing experience because it's not just chatting like on Discord or in the chat room in like Fightcade or something. You're chatting in the game, like in the entire lobby. Not just like
if you guys have played MMORPGs before, like World of Warcraft or whatever, it's like sitting in the main plaza of of a city, right? And you see all the people running around. Some people are showing off the cool stuff that they have, like their unique mount or whatever, their new armor set.
Yeah.
And you can see people probably the same. It's gonna be the same way in Street Fighter 6. Like, oh, like that guy got that cool set that cost a lot of fight money or whatever.
I genuinely see a community within the game. Like, I think it's very possible. We've already seen examples of it in the stream, and I'm very impressed on how the battle hub was. And I was kind of mild expectations on that in general. But I think Capcom did an amazing job on it, definitely. I thought it would be more serious, like the avatars it'd be like PlayStation Home, or GTA. It'd be more of kind of like a serious, like we're realistically in the battle hub. But no, it's so silly and goofy and laid back, and everyone looks all weird and doing weird things, and it's kind of like, and you see all this Capcom fanfare, Mega Man and whatever games they're going to advertise within that, and I could see them having events and cross promotions, that it's just going to be a fun time. It's not something that's like super serious at all. Like, Capcom's making it very silly and fun, for sure. So with all that being said, Mir, let's go over the concerns. Now, I'm not going to lie to you.
All right, the video's over, guys.
Yeah, the video's over. See you later, guys. No, guys, in all honesty, I know you guys are going to call us shills, but me and Mir could not figure out any concerns. So we had to make them up. All right,
like we had to go for nitpicks. Like these are not real concerns.
We had to make them up. So
made up concerns.
Yeah, I apologize. You guys can call it shills all you want. I understand, but I'm serious. We could not think of anything. I'm just being upfront with you guys. So get ready for the nitpicking. We have a little list. Yeah, we got a little whack list. So here it goes, Mir. Bear with us, guys. Okay. So I think the menus are pretty whack. I think the menus were hard to understand and confusing. It took me 30 minutes to figure out how to get into ranked. And there are a lot of options and settings that exist that you don't even know of unless someone told you, or you really pay attention to the screen. Like, I think it could have been a lot more streamlined and smoother. But once you know it, you know it, and you're good. But I just felt like it was very overwhelming and confusing because there's just so many damn options in the game. It's absolutely nuts how many options there are.
I suppose I guess I didn't run into the same problem. For one, I'm really glad that you can navigate them with the mouse.
Yeah, like it's crazy using the mouse for everything.
Like going through menus at light speed, even in training mode.
Yeah,
and there's tooltips at the bottom explaining what options do and such. So at least they thought of that.
The DJ table is useless.
I didn't even try it, so I cannot comment.
The DJ table is literally useless. You go on the DJ table. It doesn't play, the music doesn't change for the entire lobby. Maybe it will in the future. It's only people in the very general vicinity, and you can like scratch the turntable a bit, hit a couple of keys, but it's like nothing. It's a complete waste of time. It's useless.
If we want to talk about something that affects the whole lobby, the announcer in the battle hub, the lady that's speaking on the speakers, telling you about if someone's on a win streak, lost their win streak. I didn't even
notice that.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't, because she was talking the entire time.
Oh, maybe because she
tells you that someone's doing well, and if no one goes to beat him, she tells you again.
Oh,
and then she tells you again.
Maybe I was just too busy talking to my chat, and then you were kind of like testing stuff, so you were able to concentrate and hear all of that. Okay.
Well, I mean, I rarely noticed it when I was waiting around for like ranked matches and such. You know? Like I usually use the slumping emote and I slump in the middle of the of the battle hub, and then I just get to hear the announcer talk, whispering sweet nothings in my ear.
I'm sure. I think in the audio settings you can turn off the announcer anyways.
Yeah, probably.
This one's actually legit. This is legit. There's no full screen option in the graphics options. That has me concerned, Mir. You can't set the game to full screen.
Borderless or windowed.
Yeah, it's only borderless or windowed. I don't like that. Your cursor can go off the monitor or whatever. And of course, you want the game to be as low input lag and synced up as possible. So, Capcom, add a full screen option. Come on, what's going on here?
That'd be nice. I guess actually talking about something serious, this could be a legitimate concern. There's no server for Africa or Australia, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I saw people mention that on Twitter. That's concerning, for sure.
Yeah. No Antarctica server. No, okay, that's less important. And not like these are small continents either. Like in Africa.
Yeah.
Africa is pretty big. Like if you live in South Africa, the closest thing you have is, I don't know, the Asian servers? That's pretty far away.
But yeah, so no online training mode as well too, Mir. We've seen the game.
Yeah, I hope people bring it up in their surveys, because it was missing from Street Fighter 5 and was, annoying, because Street Fighter 4 had it, right? Like that's the most annoying part, is like Street Fighter 4 had it and Street Fighter 5 didn't have it. And Street Fighter 6 has such good netcode that honestly, I don't see what the problem is. It
Right.
would be such a convenience, and it would help test a lot of things with maybe some, maybe you don't have direct access to someone that knows that character, that you need to lab against, but maybe somebody online could help you, and it would just
Oh,
be
online
just a
training
matter.
mode is invaluable, man. Like they need to have that. Like I'm putting that down in the survey for sure for the Street Fighter
Yeah.
6 beta for sure, dude. No hitboxes too, and Capcom sent out a tweet, with the Capcom collection showing they're adding hitboxes. So I mean, they know it exists. Hitboxes exist.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing to
Yeah,
have
I
that
mean,
in Street Fighter 6.
it'd be great, right? Like it'd be a very useful tool to have in game, because often when you talk to someone about hitboxes, they don't really understand them. But if they learn to see them in game, right?
Yeah.
And fiddle around with them, especially dynamically see them change in training mode and how they interact with everything else, I think it would help a lot of people not only understand them better, but obviously have the tool to then actually see them in game.
Right. Another nitpick was the retro machines. So in the extreme battle machines, that's like the fun item mode game part.
Yeah.
All the individual machines kind of have different modes, so you can kind of choose what you want to play. But for the retro machines, they're all the same game. Like they're not a variety of games. So it'll be and it's on rotation. So one time it was Magic Sword, and then it switched to Street Fighter 2. Right? And then I'll switch to like Final Fight. So I'm just concerned about that, because I feel like if it's only one game for all the machines, I think that area is going to be dead. Like I don't think it's a good idea to see the area and no one's on the machines at all,
Yeah, I guess they really wanted you to compete for high scores or whatever, so...
I mean, for the beta, obviously everyone's focused on playing Street Fighter 6 because they want to play Street Fighter 6, but I don't want to see this battle have barren wastelands on the extreme and retro game types too.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much all of our nitpicks that we can come up with, guys. We can complain about the DJ table.
There's not real serious concerns about anything that isn't gameplay related.
Yeah,
and when it's gameplay related, is basically us trying to tell you that the drive impact is not going to kill the game.
Oh no! Don't mention the drive impact, please. If you guys are hearing about the whole drive impact thing, I actually released a video yesterday going over how to counter it and why people are having problems with it. You guys should definitely check out that video. I did it during the beta test. If you guys haven't seen it, just so everyone's enlightened on how it works. A lot of people didn't get into the beta, so there's a lot of people complaining about it right now. But I don't really want to go too much into the gameplay concern stuff, Mir, because I think that's for an entire video discussion.
Right.
That we're planning to do.
This video is already quite long.
Yeah. I anticipated that for sure. But once again, guys, I would say for a beta test, this is one of the smoothest beta tests I've had for a game in general, not just a fighting game. I'm peak hype for Street Fighter 6. It's really surreal that we were able to play it. And now I have like almost no concerns now that we've experienced the netcode. It's just looking amazing. The feedback has been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like just so much positivity about the game now. It's really great. And I guess the next thing is, let's just hope there's an open beta. Let's hope that the PS4 gets in here and everyone who's watching this is able to finally experience the game for themselves. I think it's very, very important. On Capcom's part.
Right.
Guys, let us know in the comments below what you guys thought about the Street Fighter 6 beta, watching it or playing it. If you guys have any questions for me and Mir, something you wanted to know if you weren't invited, leave a comment. I'll be sure to answer for you guys. And me and Mir will be back. We'll be bouncing. We have so much content to go through, guys. So much videos we need to edit. And we'll do our best to give you guys kind of a variety, gameplay matches. We'll do breakdowns, more discussions. Yeah. We got combo videos coming up. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So, expect that in the coming weeks. Me and Mir are pretty much covered on content daily until the next update from Capcom. So, Mir, thanks for joining me. And we'll do a lot more talking here in the future. So, thanks, guys. Peace.
Bye-bye.